Hey guys, what's up? This is Pantsire Dragon, and today we'll be doing episode 2 of Mechanics. This series is all about showing you flash tricks with champions if they have them, or showing you just some cool tips with them. And in this series we'll be going through all the champions in the game, as every champion has something unique about them. In this episode you'll be shown how to solo Baron with Mundo, showing you how to triple R with Diana, and much more. So with all that being said, let's get started. Alright, so the first person we'll be going over is Caitlyn, and I'll just be showing a basic combo since she doesn't have any flash tricks. This combo is simply using your E and then your Q. And why is this better than QE? First off, you're using your E to slow the enemy, which makes it more accurate to hit your Q onto the enemy. And second of all, you are potentially out of the enemy's auto attack range, since your E does push you back away from the enemy. And third of all, it does combine the cast animation of your E and Q, so you don't have to wait for both of them to cast. This combo is really good for trying to kite enemies while trying to do damage output. Also, a teamfight tip with Caitlyn is you want to use your trap defensively, not offensively, as it does provide self-peel, so if you want to try and kite the enemy, you can kite them around the trap and, use it as a zoning tool. Next up is Cassiopeia. This time we do have a flash trick with their ultimate, and the combo is going to be R plus flash. And so why is this combo good? It's because there's zero reaction time for the enemy to flash out of your ult or turn around to not get stunned, and yeah, it's basically you surprising the enemy when you do that. Do note that in the direction you flash towards will be the same direction where your ultimate will be casted towards too. So if you cast it behind you and then flash forward, you'll hit everyone in front of you. Alright, so next up we'll be talking about Cho'gath. The only tip I can give you, as Cho'gath is a lousy champion, is that if you ever see this spinning fangs thing around the enemy, that means your ultimate can kill him at the moment. So instead of trying to calculate your ultimate to see if it will kill him or not, just look if there's a spinning fang thing around the enemy. Next up we'll be talking about Corki. As far as I know, I don't really think there's any tricks with him that you already don't know, so I'll just be explaining the basic combo with him. So basically what you're going to do is every time you use an AA, you want to cast a spell in between your AAs. So for instance, you would do an AA, Q, AA, R, AA, and yeah, just your basic combo for Corki. If you know a trick with Corki that I don't know that is uncommon, or I'm just not thinking of it right now, please tell us in the comments below. Next champion we're going to be talking about is Darius, and not a lot of people know this, but your Q does not cancel your auto attack. And so if you want to get 3 passive stacks onto an enemy quickly, all you have to do is AA and Q at the same time, and then activate your W for the auto attack reset. I would probably not want to use this in laning phase since you want to hit people with the edge of your axe, but if you're ever trying to get those stacks onto someone quickly since you want to ult them, then this is the combo to do. Next up we'll be talking about Diana, and I must say that she's one of the coolest champions I've explored, as there's a large variety of the type of things she can do, and yeah, I think she's going to be one of the coolest champions besides Lee Sin, exploring what she can do. So the first thing we're going to be showing is what kind of jumps can she do. So she can jump the Baron with ease. It doesn't matter where you're placed around the wall as long as you touch the wall and then R to it, but the dragon is a bit different. So basically you can R to it if you have vision of it, aka using a ward or someone is there, but from my experience of trying to reveal it with the Q and then R to it, it doesn't work since the dragon moves, and also it might be because I have 120 ping, so if I had maybe 50, my character would react fast enough from me clicking the R into the dragon, but I'm not entirely sure, so let's move on to the next trick. So in this trick we'll be demonstrating the triple R. So the combo is going to be you queuing onto the enemy, and then you're going to wait a bit until the moonlight debuff is going to fade away, and then you're going to R at the last second, and then you're going to use your Q right after, and then R and R. I would say this combo is really good for re-engaging onto an enemy when you know you can burst them down with 3 Rs, or say trading with the enemy in the mid lane or top lane. I wouldn't say it's good in team fights because usually if you land your first Q, that's when you hop onto an AD carry, but I'd say it's really good for re-engaging fights and straight up bursting someone down really quickly. The next tip is going to be a flash trick with Diana. So this is going to be the same concept with Cassiopeia, surprising the enemy, and basically what you're going to do in this combo is use your E first and then flash onto the enemy. I would say this is one of the biggest tips with Diana since you do surprise the enemy, and there's no way they can react fast enough to flash out of her vacuum. The next tip is going to be with her Q. The same concept with the other flash tricks. Use your Q and then flash. I guess it'd be really useful in situations where you need to hit your Q. Although the skill shift is a bit weird, so it's going to be hard to predict where it's going to be. And the projectile is kind of slow, so I'd maybe stick to flash Q. The next trick is going to be you using your Q while you're dashing in midair, so that you basically get an ensured hit on the enemy with a Q. and I'll give it up to What the Moose for figuring this out. But this trick is literally impossible to do. Like, you can go in a custom game and try this for yourself, and it literally took me 50 minutes to do it twice. So I mean, if you can master how to do this, then you'd be a great Diana player. Otherwise, this is really inconsistent and it'll only happen like 1 out of 100 times. The next trick I think is going to be really useful. So when you're in your R animation, you can actually cast other spells like your W, Q, and E. So what you can do when you're in the dashing animation is that you can use your Moonfall when you're dashing towards the enemy. And so when you use it when you arrive and waiting for that cast animation to go, just use it midair and you won't have to deal with it. See how much tricks there are with this champion? There's a lot. And you can probably see how I had so much fun with her. So the next champion we're going to do is Mundo. And I found a cool trick with Mundo where you can solo Baron, although very useless in a real game since it does take a long time to do. But nonetheless, you can solo Baron. Alright, so the required items that you need is some kind of item that does damage over time, like Spirit of the Ancient Golem or Liandry's, but you'd probably go Spirit of the Ancient Golem. And what you're going to do is basically throw a cleaver, get hit by one Baron attack, and then walk away. Do not go too far away or the Baron will reset. And once your cleaver is back up, hit the Baron again, and repeat. As you can see, all I have is a Warmog's armor and an Ancient Golem. I don't have any Spell Vamp, I don't have a Spirit Stone, and I don't even have Liandry's. All I have is my cleaver's base damage. And as you can see, easy peasy lemon squeezy, all it does is take some time, and yep, that's how you get Baron for free-ish. Last champion we're going to do is Draven. So the first trick we're going to be showing is canceling enemy gap closers with your E. So basically what you're going to do is when you see the enemies about to gap close onto you, you want to use your E to disrupt them, and so what ends up happening is you don't take the damage and they don't touch you. This is probably the most useful trick when you're facing enemies with gap closers who can get to you. I know for sure that when I'm facing Draven as Wukong, I really don't like going to that lane since I know he can do that, and I usually end up ulting nothing. The next trick is going to be with Baron, where Draven basically throws bouncing axes at the Baron pit, and they will constantly land at where Draven is standing right now, as you can see in the clip. Really useful for doing Baron, especially when you don't feel like moving to catch axes. For some reason though, this trick does not work at Dragon. I've tried it at the same spot, I've actually tried some other spots, and I just can't find a sweet spot anywhere. So I don't think it works at Dragon and only at Baron pit. This next trick I give credit to FeeLOL for finding this, and it's actually really cool as it allows you to have 2 axes when you come to lane. And so the basic gist of it is when you're leashing for someone, you want to throw one bouncing axe and then you want to catch it the second time while going towards lane. And once the bouncing axe is about to fade away, you react ability so you don't lose your first axe. And then once you're in lane, you have 2 axes to play against the enemy. Hey, so that's the end of this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Next time we do this, we'll be showing champions from E to F, and hopefully you guys learned a thing or two. And if you did miss the first episode of this series, be sure to click that annotation at the top left, and when the next episode is released, there will be an annotation at the top right corner of this video. Anyways, I am Panzer Dragon, thank you guys for watching my video, and enjoy the next set of clips, which I feel are useless tricks or doesn't work out too well in the end.